So friends, we may be losing our capacity to be surprised by the lawlessness of the Trump administration and its Republican flunkies in Congress, but let's never lose our capacity to be outraged, because House Speaker Mike Johnson just said that his proposed remedy for dealing with the avalanche of Trump's losses in court, quote, "We do have the authority over the federal courts. As you know, we can eliminate an entire district court," Johnson said. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, Donald Trump is putting together one heck of a record-setting losing streak in court after court after court. But now, it looks like House Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson has a proposed solution. Let's start with the new reporting. This from The Guardian. Headline, Mike Johnson floats eliminating federal courts as Trump faces judicial pressure. And that article begins, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson suggested potentially defunding, restructuring, or eliminating U.S. federal courts as a means of pushing back against judicial decisions that have challenged Donald Trump's policies. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, Johnson, a former constitutional attorney, raised the prospect of congressional intervention in the court system. Quote, "We do have the authority over the federal courts. As you know, we can eliminate an entire district court," Johnson said. While Johnson later clarified that, his remarks were meant to illustrate Congress's broad constitutional powers rather than a direct threat, it traces the mounting pressure from Trump's allies to challenge judicial independence. Republican lawmakers have grown more visibly frustrated with federal judges blocking Trump administration actions, particularly regarding immigration policies. Okay, so I have a question for you, Mike. What happened to the intent of the framers of the Constitution that you're always popping off about? Because the Constitution provides that there are 3 co-equal branches of government, and there's nothing in the Constitution about the legislative branch having the power to shut down the judicial branch if the judicial branch rules against the executive branch. But friends, as I said up front, we're not surprised by any of this, as MAGA Mike Johnson has already neutered himself and the co-equal branch of government status that, before he came along, had been enjoyed by Congress, at least in the House of Representatives. Mike Johnson has laid down, rolled over, played dead, gave away Congress's authority to a corrupt president, including the power of the purse, the power to create government agencies, only Congress can do that, the power to fund government agencies, and if it chooses, the power to close down, to decommission government agencies. Mike Johnson has given all of that power of Congress away to a corrupt executive branch. So no, we're not surprised by any of this. But friends, here's the thing, and let's finish with this. In the only Trump legal case that has reached the Supreme Court thus far, the Supreme Court ruled against Donald Trump. Remember this headline? Supreme Court rejects Trump's request to keep billions in foreign aid frozen. So friends, that raises the following question. Does Mike Johnson intend to shutter the Supreme Court too? Because the Supreme Court ruled against Donald Trump. You know, as I mentioned a minute ago, apparently the MAGA Mike Johnson way is that if you fail in school, don't study harder, get rid of the teacher. If you fail on the court or on the playing field, you get a penalty thrown against you, don't start complying with the rules, get rid of the ref. And if you are caught by courts, by federal judges, having acted lawlessly and unconstitutionally, don't start obeying the law and the Constitution. No, get rid of the courts. You know, Mike, if that's your worldview, you couldn't be more wrong, because to the courts, to the federal judges, like to us, justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.